Yeah, I look just like him. So, our special that's coming up on Friday, I actually played Biden in the special.
Ah,
But you're not actually him. No, not actually him, but, and it fits perfectly because someone else is always telling me what to say.
Now we have a f***ing puppet. Man, Fox News really scraping the bottom of the barrel to entertain the Republicans. Look, Republicans, it's a puppet. A ventriloquist. See, it's a guy, he's controlling the puppet, and it looks like his mouth isn't moving. This is literally Sesame Street for adult Republicans. Are you happy in life? Are you depressed? Are you looking for something? Anything to just give you this little glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, the world is not all doom and gloom? Well, I hate to break it to you, but if you're feeling that way, you're about to feel even worse, because we're about to review Fox News comedy, specifically Greg Gutfeld. Now, Greg Gutfeld is annoying, or is it Gutfeld? Something gut, okay? Just remember the gut part, like fat gut, and you got it, okay? Greg Gutfeld, he's back again, this time to talk to us about Joe Biden's recent birthday. Joe Biden recently turned 80 in the White House and celebrated by having like a coconut cake. And no joke, that is enough for Fox News here to give us a near 10-minute comedy mocking Joe Biden for having a birthday. Because as we all know, only soy boy, lib cuck, degenerate Antifas age.
Welcome back. The Prez who's never alert is officially older than dirt. Yeah, Joe's feeling fine as he parties like he's no longer 79.
Haha. It rhymes. That's why it's funny, guys. Because it rhymes. Thank you, Dr. Seuss. Truly insightful political commentary here.
President Joe Biden celebrated his 80th birthday yesterday in typical fashion, wondering where the hell he is. It marks the first time ever that an American president has turned 80 in the Oval Office, and the first time the Oval Office desk chair doubled as a toilet.
I like how the crowd laughter even is just completely forced. They're, like, you can hear the lady in the background like, ah ha ha ha, ho ho ho. I hope that lady's getting paid, because holy shit, she deserves a raise.
What?
Terrible. He celebrated with his family in the White House with his favorite, a coconut cake. Did someone warn him coconuts are a natural laxative? Puts a smile on his face, though, and one on the teeth floating in the glass on his
Unironic poop jokes. Like, okay, buddy, we get it. You're 12.
Stand. So cheap. Biden and his handlers have said he's fit for the job and more than capable of running for re-election despite his advanced age. And that when he shakes hands with imaginary people...
How old is Trump? Trump's 76. Okay. Wow, Biden's a whole 4 years older than Trump, guys. Like, Trump is pretty fucking deranged and old also, so I don't know.
He has the grip strength of a teenager. Joe himself has said he felt 50, which raises the question, 50 what? Just wondering, there's a women's college nearby, so it could be anything.
Can somebody help me understand what that even means? What's the joke there? Is this just like advanced conservative humor and I don't have the intelligence to understand this? Or what? What does that even mean? It's very hard to add commentary here because there's nothing funny at all. The commentary almost speaks for itself by just me down in the corner staring with a really blank stare, because that's all that this has given me thus far.
As we celebrate the commander-in-chief, let's take a long trip down memory lane, or at least a confused meander through the Rose Garden.
2, 10, 12, 15. Oops, stepping on them. That's black. Anyway. By the way, this is my little sister, Valerie, and I'm Jill's husband.
We're going to go over a bunch of gaffes Biden has had. Now, let's be real. Joe Biden has obviously had plenty of gaffes. Joe Biden is not really a very eloquent speaker, I'm not going to lie. He stumbles over his words a lot. He gets confused quite often. He says things that sounds very dumb or is obvious that he's incorrect about, like where he called his wife just then his sister. Like, that's awkward, I get it. There's so much more to running a country than just the president. He's almost like the face of it all, right? But it's also who the president is surrounded by. This is why Joe Biden might come across, a little loony, a little bit aloof. He does seem like he's pretty confused at times. However, Biden has also done a great deal of positives here with this country. The infrastructure bill alone being one of the greatest. The fact that we were able to get a bipartisan infrastructure bill passed through the entirety of Congress speaks volumes. That is a good thing. That's a huge benefit for all of America. So yeah, Biden himself might be a little bit loony here and there, but it's more important about who is surrounding Biden, who is giving Biden these ideas, who is helping Biden make these accomplishments. This is the same thing with Donald Trump, right? Trump said it himself too. I'm going to surround myself with the best people ever or whatever. Now, of course, he failed, and all those quote unquote best people ended up either disagreeing with him or turning out to just fucking hate him. But that's a conversation for another day. Everybody recognizes that it's important for the president of the United States to be surrounded by people that are smart, like their advisors, who can give them good policy ideals. This is just basic American politics right here. So yeah, Biden is a little bit loony. It's not just about Biden. It's about what kind of legislation Biden has passed and who is surrounding Biden. And when we're talking about the legislation, infrastructure bill, just the infrastructure bill, there's others as well, has been incredibly beneficial.
Hard trouble reading this. I have hard trouble reading this. Then the percentage of the men who
I'm having trouble reading this. That's okay. This really isn't that bad.
do so. End of quote. Repeat the line.
That wasn't even that bad. I'm sorry. The one you just showed is like, yeah, sometimes people have a tough time getting their coat on. Mind blown. Apparently, this is only hilarious when it's Joe Biden doing that. Sometimes, people's glasses fall off. It's kind of awkward and weird, but it happens. Dumb fuck Biden. Only a senile old man would accidentally drop his glasses occasionally. What an idiot.
Oh, unlike the president, that never gets old. Now let's go to the birthday boy himself. How are you celebrating your birthday?
No. Look, I'm 80 years old. But happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. I feel 50. That's how you get the Joe age. You subtract 30.
So remember when a bunch of liberals would do the mockery of Donald Trump? At least their mockery, although incredibly redundant and also cliche, at least their mockery included characters that actually looked like Trump and sounded like Trump. This is just some dude pretending to be Biden. He doesn't even look like Biden. He doesn't even sound like Biden.
That's how you get the Joe age. You subtract 30. Text Joe to -30. And I remember 30 years ago when I was 50, I felt 20. I remember what I was doing, just like you. I was listening to some good headbanging music. With the lights out, it's less dangerous. Here we are now.
This is boomer humor. This is top tier boomer humor. Oh my God. I don't even think that I could be, if I were drunk and high right now, I still don't think I'd be laughing at this. This is so unfunny. It's almost painful to watch.
So, Walter, not a day goes by when people tell me that that Biden reminds them of you. What say you?
We have gotten that since Obama. I mean, people go, I look just like him. So, our special that's coming up on Friday, I actually played Biden in the special.
Ah,
but you're not actually him. No, not actually him. But, and it fits perfectly because someone else is always telling me what to say.
Man, how have we not thought of this before? We got Dr. Seuss rhyming. We have mocking a guy for eating cake. Now we have a fucking puppet. Man, Fox News really scraping the bottom of the barrel to entertain the Republicans. Look, Republicans, it's a puppet. A ventriloquist. See, it's a guy, he's controlling the puppet and it looks like his mouth isn't moving. And he's moving around a dummy, just like you, Republicans. Look, it rhymes. There's a rhyme. Get out of your drunken stupor. Listen up. Fox News is on. This is literally Sesame Street for adult Republicans.
So we had fun with it. And by the way, watching those films, it's just no matter what side you're on, how could you take that seriously?
Yeah.
And we all have friends on the other side of the country. Some of us do, some of us don't. And I was asking a guy the other day, how are we viewed right now? And it's what you hear. It's just like we're viewed as kind of a joke, and it's kind of sad. But it gives you material, so I love it.
Yeah, there you go. What say you, Cat?
Is that it? This should be the new form of punishment for criminals. Actually, no, probably not. I was going to say you should lock somebody in a padded room with just this on repeat, but I think that would violate the Constitution and the clause involving cruel and unusual punishment. This is horrible, man.
The thing is, are we being a little too ageist? I'm beginning to think that Biden's age is not the worst thing about him.
No, it's impressive. Like, I don't think I'll see 80. I know a few 80-year-olds, not to brag, but like... they don't act like that.
No, they don't. They don't.
They don't act like he's like, well, I'll just, he's like.
I love it how it's just like, yes, all 80-year-olds, I've met a couple 80-year-olds. They don't all act like this other 80-year-old I know. What do you think that people just turn 80 and just like become a monolith?
Cat's right. Like, he's 80, but he's not a strong 80, like Stuart Varney.
Stuart's like 40. Here's the thing. This is what annoys me so much about the libs, is that they try to make it about them.
All right, let's hear generic Fox News woman number 453. Please tell us what bothers you about the libs.
40. Here's the thing. This is what annoys me so much about the libs, is that they try to make it about the number, right? And they say, for example, the chair of one of the New Hampshire Democratic groups straight up said, and then a newspaper printed this, he said, well, Tom Brady won a Super Bowl at age 43, so I think we have to reassess aging. What the hell does that have to do with our president being the crypt keeper? Nothing. Yeah. All that they want to do.
No, actually, that's actually kind of relevant. Now, all he's getting at is that some of our perceptions surrounding age could do for adjustment. Is that really that unheard of? Is that really that surprising? It's like the most innocuous statement. Hey, we should reassess how we think about aging, guys. I can't stand the fucking libs. Their Antifa soy agenda.
Is make the conversation about the number to say, well, now the medical science and miracles happen. That's not the point. The point is we all know 1,090-year-olds that are literally smarter than we are and more with it, and then 40-year-olds that act like they're 102. There's always an example for each. And the bottom line is our...
Wait, so you're demonstrating the point? If there are some 80-year-olds that are far more mentally stable, and then some 40-year-olds who act far older, you realize that you are reaffirming the point you were just trying to make fun of, that maybe it's okay to reassess how we think about aging. You're doing it. You're literally proving the point and agreeing while trying to disagree. Holy shit, man. This is embarrassing.
That montage should be the campaign video of the Republican nominee over and over and over.
Get yourself a Republican president who won't drop his glasses. That's the man you want. Republican who knows how to put his own coat on.
What do you think? Do you think that, I still think, what if he was 30 years actually younger? He could be more dangerous. Because then he'd have more energy. At least he's sleeping half the day.
He was still saying the same things 30 years ago. I mean, this is a guy who's never been with it. But the New York Times...
He was? Don't you guys bring up the fact that Biden used to say things that contradict the type of policies he advocates for now? I thought that was like your guys' thing. You bring up the fact that Biden has said things in the past, like supporting the crime bill in the 90s, where he now is contradicting himself because he no longer agrees with those types of policies.
Times, you pick a copy up, they say that experts say Mr. Biden and Mr. Trump are in the category of super agers because they age better than their peers. Said no one ever, because Trump and Biden are not in the same category. I can tell you because Biden carries around
because Trump is cool, and I like Trump. Also, I've throated his cock a few times. And Biden is old and lame.
Yeah.
In his defense, I will say that Biden has done one thing that no president ever has.
What?
He fell up a flight of stairs 3 times. 3 times in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here.
Ha 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 ha. That's the end. Thank God. That's the end of my suffering. That's the end of my struggle. Holy shit. I'm actually surprised because I knew that it was going to be bad, when I skipped through this and I saw the puppet, I knew that we were going to get into some yikesy Sesame Street for boomers territory. But this is even worse than I was expecting. Because first they crack a bunch of dumb fuck jokes that weren't funny at all. And then they try and dismantle Joe Biden or whatever while accidentally proving the points. Like the fact that the girl was making fun of the guy for saying we should reassess aging, and then she goes on to talk about how she knows some 80-year-olds who act like they're 40 and some 40-year-olds who act like they're 80, proves the point. Maybe this guy's name is like Gutfeld, because now I have an aching feeling in my gut after watching this. This was just gruesome. This was torture. And I'm violating TOS at this point with depicting self-harm. I need to log off. The whole world is laughing at Biden. I just watched an Aussie news clip which was entitled "Superhuman Joe Biden Defies Gravity by Falling Up the Stairs." So it's funny that people say this stuff where you can look at actual international surveys. Far more of the world is favorable towards Joe Biden as opposed to how they were towards Trump. Well, there you guys have it. If you were depressed and sad, now you're probably going to kill yourself. Hang in there, okay? Don't do it. The world will get better. Just, it won't be getting better through Gutfeld.